It's us.
Well, a warm welcome to you on this last day of 2024. 2025 is tomorrow.
That's the 1/4 century mark.
Wow. Well, I am JJ. I am a life coach and I eat mostly meat since October 2022.
I'm Eric. I'm a novelist and I eat mostly meat, almost exclusively beef, bacon, eggs, and coffee, with the occasional little butter thrown into my element.
Oh.
So, which is what I've got right here.
I'm like, yeah, and
Chocolate element heated up with a little bit of butter in it.
I just switched over to salty from Keto Chow recently. And it wasn't because of the big maltodextrin thing, because I was like, whatever. But I thought, well, let me just try the other one again and see if I like it. And the answer is I really do like the element flavor better, except for the salty chocolates. They're pretty dang good.
I haven't tried that one yet.
Yeah, I just tried them this past week, and those are really good. The fruity ones I do prefer Element, but strange thing I've noticed is that I haven't been I've reduced my electrolyte consumption in general, and I have not been having any foot cramps.
Oh, so that's an improvement.
Since I switched to salty and also reduced.
Well, maybe it's saltier.
So it might be that whatever their proportions are might just be better for my body. I don't think there's anything nefarious or anything, weird. But yeah, it's just been a strange difference.
So the title of today's video is How Many Steaks Do Carnivores Eat Each Year?
Ooh, how many?
And we are going to talk about that.
It's like a joke.
Well,
almost.
The clickbait thumbnail that I created of you is in front of a table full of steaks.
Yeah.
And it says 500 steaks. And so, and I just pulled this number just out of a hat. And then I actually went and did the math. And I said, well, what is a steak? If you consider 8 ounces of serving of beef a steak. So, I mean, you could count hamburger patty or a cut off of a roast or something like that. 500 is nothing. Well, it's not totally insubstantial, but that would account for maybe a third of the energy that you would need if we just talked in just base calories. That's not actually, because you'd think, well, there's 365 days. How many steaks do you need per day? But if you've done carnivore for any amount of time, it's a little hard to just eat steak and get enough, at least for me, enough food energy, because I hit satiety before
I see.
I really get enough energy.
I see.
And I think it has to do because steaks aren't maybe fatty enough.
Mm-hmm.
So you add fat blobs and other fat to your steaks.
I do. And I usually, if I had to average the size steak I eat, it's 12 ounces. So if you do the 8 ounce math, that's a steak and a half.
Yeah.
A serving and a half. And I eat a steak most days. So I can see that.
I would agree. And I think that the smallest steak I would have in any given day would be 12 ounces. But do I have the equivalent of 1 steak per day on average across the year? Easily.
Mm-hmm.
So 500 does not seem like that would be necessarily very difficult to do.
No.
So then I got to thinking, well, what would that cost?
That's interesting. What would it cost?
Well, how much is a Black Angus prime ribeye?
Wait, did you do math or no?
I had Chet do math for me.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, that could be easily $16, $18, $19 a pound, depending on where you get it for that steak. But you could get ground beef for $2 a pound, maybe less. Those Walmart pre-made patties were 89 cents a pound.
Oh, you're talking about those frozen.
Yeah, those frozen ones.
That was not a pound.
But it wasn't a pound. But that's
patty,
right, per patty. That's right.
Yeah.
But it might have averaged out but it's much less for
It's
ground
usually
beef.
like
Unless
three
you
to
get a good deal.
$3 to $4 usually, yeah, for a pound.
So if you subsisted only on hamburgers,
Mhm.
that 500 steaks, I mean, how many ounces is a hamburger patty? 6?
However big you want it.
It's too complicated.
Yeah.
It's too hard to do this.
Well, Kelly Hogan did this. I guess her community has access to burger patty math.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, but that's not that hard because
No.
500
Mhm.
times 8 is 4,000 ounces.
Okay.
So 4,000 times whatever your average price per pound of beef is across all the cuts you eat would give you your cost for 500 steak equivalents, also known as SEs.
So my question is, did you do the math? Did chat?
No, I said chat did it, but I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't memorize it. But there was a range of like the bargain was like you could probably do it for, in the sub $2,000 range up to the luxury would be in the $5,000 range across that 4,000 ounces of steak, depending on the cuts you chose.
Mhm.
It would be a lot of ground beef on the lower end.
Yeah.
And I'm not eating ground beef at all these days.
No,
I subsisted on it for so long earlier this year, and I have no interest in eating it at all. So
Well-
it is possible to eat 500 steaks, and it's crazy to think in terms
Yeah, that is
in those terms when you think of how many steaks you ate your entire life
Oh my gosh.
up until 2022, October of 2022, when you started. It was nowhere near 500.
No, I really highly doubt that. I used to have it as a kid sometimes, and we've talked about our mothers had a tendency, and I think most mothers did, were really scared of undercooked meat, and we also didn't have meat thermometers back then, just in the average kitchen. And so our steaks were very well done, and I did not enjoy them at all as a kid. And then as I moved into my teenage years and when we started the first half of my adulthood, I did not like meat. So there you have it.
Yeah.
I was not ordering steaks by any means.
I
Or
think
cooking them.
the upper limit you could spend would be way higher though, because there's, Wagyu and other specialty.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I would see if I were doing the
Cuts.
math, which I'm not right now, I would put it at I would say maybe $13 or $14 a pound.
It's kind of an average across different cuts.
For most of the actual steaks that we get. So yeah.
So anyway, that was interesting, but that isn't going to give you all the nourishment you need, because you need more fat, and you're probably going to have some bacon. You're going to have a ton of eggs, like
Mhm.
me, to fill that out. This morning, my breakfast these days has not been steak and eggs. It's been bacon and eggs, because I'm just not hungry enough in the morning for the whole steak project. Our air fryer died.
Project.
And so now the bacon's even harder to make, because now I've got to put it in a hot pan instead of inside the contained air fryer. But we had bought those duck eggs as an experiment. Quite expensive. It was like $5 for 6. And while the duck egg is fine and tastes fine, it's not that much better than a chicken egg to me, to my taste buds. But I put one chicken egg in with my 4 or 5 other yolks this morning, and I mixed that all up with my bacon, and it was quite delicious. Very creamy the way that I make it, because I separate the yolks and I make egg yolks without the whites, and I cook them not quite solid, so they're runny a little bit. And then I mix it all up with the bacon, and then I fork that into my face.
Well, I had an interesting breakfast the last couple, not today, but the last couple of days. First of all, I'm eating some breakfast and just listening a lot to the Steak and Butter Gang and feeling like I need to make sure that I'm getting enough food during my non-fasting days. And so starting my eating window earlier and having about an 8-hour eating window most days. And again, I'm at my health goals, so this seems to be working okay for me. And I told you I'd pulled out Courtney Luna's cookbook recently when we were watching that Gordon Ramsay show.
Yeah.
And she has a carnivore Cobb salad in there. And so I've been having that. And basically, instead of lettuce, you're using bacon. So it's bacon, egg, blue cheese, chicken. And then I am putting some homemade vinegar. Well, the vinaigrette isn't homemade. The vinegar isn't homemade. The vinaigrette is homemade. So that's a little bit of olive oil and some vinegar.
Not olive oil.
Yeah.
You know that it's
vinegar.
filled with canola oil and all kinds of horrible
well, this is pretty good olive oil.
toxins.
But delicious and a really nice change. And not missing. Lettuce doesn't have a strong taste anyway, but the bacon is a good substitute. And Cobb salad has bacon in it. So it's the flavor profile.
I saw that you put blue cheese on it, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. And when I saw that, I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. I don't like blue cheese. I'm not eating it.
Oh, so yeah, very good. Again, giving Courtney Luna some props after I didn't.
Think about how many steaks Dr. Baker must eat per year.
Oh my gosh.
Because every meal for him is like 2 or 3 of those ribeyes, right? Because he's a giant and he eats giant quantities of food. Of course, I don't know if that may be his only meal, but still, that could be 1,000 or 1,500 steaks.
Let's say he's having 3 pounds of steak at a sitting. I'm guessing. I think he said something like that, but I'm guessing. So that's 6 steak equivalents.
Yeah, and those aren't 8-ounce steak equivalents.
Right, they're a pound, 3 pounds.
3 pounds. So 6 of our 8-ounce steak equivalents.
Yes.
We are doing math live. It's a mistake. I can do it, but I'm not trained up on thinking in terms of math. It's a disaster. I should have written all of this stuff down, but we had somebody in the comments.
Good.
Darcy said, ChatGPT says $12,000 a year for 500 steaks at 12 ounces per steak, averaging $18 a pound. So that would be like a New York strip or a ribeye. And if you were doing solidly 12 ounces per steak at that price, I guess that makes sense. But if you considered an 8-ounce steak equivalency in ground beef or chuck roast or other more affordable cuts, your overall average per pound could be less. I guess that was sort of the point. Okay. JH says, Happy New Year, JJ and Eric, in a few hours, of course.
Yes.
And Limitless Lindy says, Happy New Year.
Oh, it's so good to see you here, Lindy. I'm so excited you've joined us today.
Limitless says, my dad loves his steak and bacon, but mom hated meat. So he didn't get a lot of it growing up. Just my dad. Oh, so he got it, but the kids didn't get any.
Oh my God.
I see how it is. Well, my dad, he really didn't complain about food at all. Whatever my mom made, he ate and really didn't say much, but the way he ate was sort of, so imagine someone comes home from work and they're very, very tired and they're hungry. And so we sit down at the table and he bends over his plate and goes, and is done in about 2 seconds.
It's true. I had witnessed this. Yes.
So I don't know how, and he always put pepper on everything because he says I can't taste it. So I think he like didn't have very good taste buds or something. But he would have loved to eat more steaks than he did, I think.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to remember what he usually put on his or ordered when we ate out, and I don't know.
Well, he would get the fish with no butter.
That's
because he was trying to
right.
protect his heart health.
Absolutely, that's right. Yes, and they learned at Pritikin, was it?
Yep.
To get their salad dressing on the side, and then you take your fork tines and dip it into the salad dressing, and then you stab your
because they were trying
lettuce.
to eat low fat.
Yeah, although less seed oils that way too.
And they made up for it by occasionally going completely off the rails and eating nothing but ice cream. So I don't know. I think probably on average it didn't work out for them.
No, on average, I would say they definitely had had the pendulum going. Massive swings.
JH says, I purchased a quarter cow and picked up the meat about a week ago. You have never seen so much meat in your life. But the problem is that there are so many different cuts. Probably not the best strategy.
This is why we have not bought a cow, because if you've listened to us before, Eric has gone through some phases with his eating and stayed carnivore. So that has been incredible. But he went through the ground beef phase where it was just ground beef. You've gone into the steak phase where you were eating several steaks a day. And then he'll go off a cut and we'd be stuck with that cut that he's off of. So there's just no way.
I'm kind of like Lucky, our poor deceased dog who would just suddenly go off his feed because he didn't like it anymore.
He would. He'd just stop eating whatever food he loved the day before and he would not eat it again. But I didn't tell you this. So I had lunch with my friend today and we had all of our kids there. And by kids, I mean they range in age all the way up to age almost 21. And her 16-year-old just butchered his first cow.
Himself.
With mentoring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an amazing skill to have.
It is. It is. And he's 16, so this could change, but he's considering that as a career. I guess that you can do her two older boys were talking, and it's not quite full-time work, but it is very specialized. So you do make some good money. So he could do that and farm, or do that and be a fireman. So, it would be sort of a flex job.
Yeah. Well, it would translate directly to deer season too, if you wanted to process people's deer.
Exactly. But I was like, heck yeah, I've known him since birth. So if he starts butchering when he grows up, I'd be a happy camper, I think.
Do you think that the butcher gets a few little select bags of fat?
I think he could hook us up somehow. Even if he were the middleman, I think he could hook us up somehow.
Yeah. Lisa has 85 ribeyes in the freezer.
Whoa.
Wow. Well done. Well, they're not well done if they're in the freezer, but good job. We do not. I had to pull a steak out of the freezer today and I was like, we're low on the steak backup.
We are, but we do still have 2 rib roasts, and they need to be, one needs to go into the freezer. The other one I think we'll cook tomorrow.
Limitless Lindy says, what time is dinner?
Right. Really?
Yeah.
Well, and Lisa's working at the butcher shop.
Right.
Is that right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
I think it was baker or pizza. I can't remember.
I think she was pizza.
It was pizza. Not a good place to be if you're a carnivore.
She just recently switched jobs.
So
my hair is making me crazy. There's like
mine too.
All right.
So that's the whole how many steaks do carnivores eat each year clickbait title and topic for our live. We are going to switch gears a little bit, and because today is December 31st, 2024, this is really the end of our first year of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought we would look back at some of our successes and failures. And I thought it would be very fun for folks to see our very first video intro.
Well, this was funny to me too, but go ahead. You started and then
You will notice something interesting here. Okay, here it is. I hope you can hear it.
JJ, and
Hi, Eric.
He's my husband, and we are here to talk about the 10 top results that we've gotten from eating a proper human diet.
And they are magnificent results. So that was the intro. Do you notice? What do you notice? JJ's showing you. She's wearing the same outfit today.
By chance.
Totally by chance. But you don't have the braid in that you had here.
I don't have the braid.
We are in a different location.
Oh, I miss R2.
And R2D2's in the background.
And I miss our lighting.
Yeah, well, that will improve.
Yes.
In a bit.
Yes.
So one of the things I noticed when I looked at this video was I have lost weight since then.
Yes, you have.
My face is not quite as round.
But yeah.
And yeah, I don't wear those glasses anymore that are at an angle. So I was like, that's good. And I didn't watch much of the video because not many people did. And I thought we did okay for our first YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a little blast from the past. And technically, I think that was in December of 2023. That one actually came out, but
right.
Whatever.
Correct. It would have been, I think, the 19th of December.
Yeah.
I'm a human calendar sometimes.
Yeah. She is the family rememberer, which comes in handy and also comes in irritating sometimes.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. That was our first video intro. And now I've got this little thing here. So these are the thumbnails that I'm putting up here of our least viewed videos. And they were, of course, in that first 2-month period. The first one was starting carnivore training. For some reason, nobody was interested in that whole angle on carnivore. And then there was this one of carnivores who hate beef, with us making an ugly, yucky face. And what I learned was nobody wants to see a video about starting carnivore from people who are just starting their YouTube channel. And the other thing is, carnivores in particular, do not want to watch videos that sound like they will be negative about carnivore. I was trying to do a clickbait. Like, what? How could there be a carnivore who hates beef? What's wrong with this guy? Well, what I think people answered the question going, what's wrong with that guy? Why would I watch his terrible video? I love beef. So I learned about what the audience does and does not want. Both of these videos racked up a total each of 65 views.
Oh, I see.
So it could have been way worse.
But I was going to say, we were not displeased with that result. I mean, that was like,
speak for yourself.
Well, yeah, you're almost always displeased.
There is no being pleased with the stats. That's not a thing that can happen. So anyway, that was.
Oh, but look at your shirt.
Yep.
That shirt, you have retired. The buffalo plaid shirt, he's retired because it's too voluminous.
It is very voluminous for my frame now. When we started this channel, I reliably wore a large t-shirt and a large button down. And now I reliably wear a size M, which is not very precise. But M's can slightly have too short of sleeves, we found out.
Yeah, you are tall.
Okay.
A tall drink of water.
Yeah, thanks. So moving on, the most viewed videos, we have a before and after of JJ. That was her one of our transformation videos, which are of course always popular on YouTube.
Now, yeah, we would think, okay, that's it's a before and after. We have some expectations around that, but this surprised me anyway, that it got as good of a response as it did. And that picture surprised me. My after, because I can't see myself. So I was like, oh, wow.
Right. Yeah. It was very frustrating doing this because, as we've mentioned before, we don't have good before pictures to choose from. This picture, her before was taken on a cruise and she's leaning on something that I've deleted in the background. And the after was just an iPhone picture outside someplace. But no, that was in the bedroom actually. Like some oddly good available light, because I just can't take good pictures usually. So anyway, that one did quite well, and it was very satisfying because you had made such progress, and we were able to encapsulate that progress for the first time.
Yeah, yeah.
The other one that's up here is 11 Years Carnivore. This is our one and only interview we conducted on our channel this year.
Yeah.
I had thought we would do way more, but we moved to a different house and life fell apart. YouTube fell apart. But we did this interview with Amanda Radke. She's been carnivore for a long time. She's also a 5th, 6th generation cattle rancher from out west. And I had seen her on the Carnitarians channel. And I think the Carnitarian actually is more active on Instagram than YouTube. But I watched that video and I was like, I have got to have her on our channel. And I reached out and she said yes. And it was by far our biggest video. We gained probably 300-400 subscribers from that. That video's had 30,000 plus views. And really blew the channel up to the extent that it's blown. It's still a very small channel. I don't want to misrepresent,
but it put us on the map we're on.
Exactly.
But you brought up wanting to do this interview, and I had not seen the Carnitarian interview yet, and I was like, yeah, all for it, because I've done interviews in my past. I thought, great, let's do it. And then I saw the Carnitarian and I was like, okay, yeah, this looks great. And then we got on with her and it is a phenomenal interview. I learned so much about all the different sectors of the industry she's in that I just had no idea about, both from the raising of cattle to what is happening with regulations in the cattle industry. And of course, the whole bid on beef auction.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just great.
So if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. And if you have, you probably should be rewatching it.
I probably should be rewatching.
She is so well spoken. She almost never falters or says because she is a public speaker.
Yeah.
In addition to being a children's book author, or mom of, I don't know, 4 or 5, and just a real dynamo.
It was amazing. And I won't even say it yet.
And we actually did a bid on beef.
We did do
and we did a whole video on that where we bid on stock, and we got a whole bunch of Wagyu and then we ate it. It was a really interesting experience.
Yeah.
So that was our biggest successes of the year. And then we have our biggest surprises. And this was our biggest surprise success. Carnivore slays cellulite, with a terrible picture of JJ.
It's about the lighting we have now.
She's in the dark. She's got this really hard white outline. There's a AI generated monster who's not quite cut out from his background very well. And I don't know. He represents cellulite, I guess.
Yeah. He's clearly a fat blob.
And this video continues to this day to kind of chug along and get views. And I think it's just because of the extraordinary title.
And what was super surprising to me about this is it was during this video recording that I realized that I no longer had cellulite.
So you didn't know it going in?
I didn't really think about it. No. And then I was like, wait a minute. My cellulite's gone too. So yeah, so it was just sort of an offhand remark.
And there was commenters on the video who were going, yeah, that happened for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just one of those non-scale victories that I hadn't really noticed.
So even with the terrible thumbnail, this video has done relatively well. So very, very surprising success. Then our most surprising failure. And you know what this is going to be, don't you?
I do.
It is skunk waffles. And this was about eating meat waffles and our skunky dog, because our dog got skunked in the face one night. Really inconvenient. And so I said, well, hey, I'll just combine it into skunk waffles and it'll be this, people will be like, what is that?
Intriguing.
That can't be good. And yet here's a cute skunk eating a waffle. I'm intrigued. I want to know more. Well, that is not what happened. What happened was crickets because everybody who saw it was like, I don't have no interest in that whatsoever. I don't want to know. I'm not interested. Keep it away from me. And so that was a big surprising failure. And I did watch a little bit of that video today, and it is not good.
Well, there you go. A well-deserved failure.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a hit, though. So those are some of the big channel successes and failures of the channel.
You made it big.
I did.
Can't get away from the skunk waffles. Hey, that reminds me, though, what is not on this list are some of the amazing songs that you've co-written this year.
Yeah, I wrote some songs with AI, including the huge hit Hoof Juice, which is about our experience eating lamb.
Yes.
There's a whole video about us cooking lamb for the first time, eating it, me hating it. The comments are filled with advice about what we did wrong. The chops were not fatty enough. We didn't cook them right. I'm weak for not liking them. We had a lot of criticism of me in particular, so that was helpful.
But the song was great.
And I can. There it is, Hoof Juice.
I've been trying to get it down, but it tastes like the ground. Hoof juice.
So, and then we had another one called I think The Cows Are Coming.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a sample of that.
No,
one
that
here,
one's
unfortunately.
that one we don't have.
And our very loyal viewer, Steakman Texas, Ellen, will always comment either in the chat or in the comments that salad is toxic. And I had AI create a song about that.
Salad is toxic, let me hear you say.
I just said, give me a song called Salad is Toxic that sounds like it was in a musical, and AI generated it for me, and I was pleased to play that many, many times. Let's see. During the course of our first year, we have uploaded or done 125 videos because we started doing lives every week. So our goal was to do 2 videos a week, but then we actually beat that because we started doing lives. We went from 0 to 2,989 subscribers. So we're so close to the 3,000 mark. Do you want us to get there by the new year? Help us find 11 people. 11.
11.
We just need 11 more. Can we make it? Are you one of those people? Like and subscribe. Maybe we can get to 3K before the year is up. Let's see. We've had 155,000 views on our videos, totaling over 25,000 hours of watch time.
So I've mentioned in the past that in addition to being a life coach, I also help run a youth theater group. And we beat our record this last show in the fall and had, 327 people in our audience one night. Great show. So when I think about that type of an audience in terms of theater audience,
yeah,
it is remarkable.
It's crazy.
It is amazing and remarkable.
Yeah, we're a small channel, and it's just incredible the reach we've had and the impact it's actually had on our lives, because some cool things have happened as a result that we did not go into the year expecting to happen. The first one was we went to a meetup in Thiensville and we met Carrie Mann from Homestead How / Healing Humanity.
Yes, we did.
We did not meet Jen, although she was there.
She's can be shy.
She was
and
talking to
introverted.
people.
She can be shy and introverted, from my understanding. She was talking to people, but every time I tried to get over there, I couldn't. I tried like 2 or 3 times to meet with her, and it just never happened.
And I do think that was before she was fully carnivore.
Correct.
And
she was
being
not
on the channel a lot. So
I think she's getting more comfortable and feeling better now.
I think some of the girls were there too, but I wasn't paying too close attention. But we met a bunch of people, a bunch of carnivores, and it was great and kind of weird because we were recognized when we went to that event as YouTubers, not only by another couple who were in attendance who recognized us in the parking lot, which was very strange because at the time we had like 400
Yeah.
subscribers. Carrie was like, do I know you guys? And then he realized he watches our YouTube channel from time to time. So that was completely mind blowing because, he's a big carnivore channel.
Yeah.
So that was just really fun.
That was fun. We had to bail a little early though. We had another event that day. But yeah.
Another cool thing was that we ended up on Dave Mack's channel. We were interviewed and on his channel. And that video did really well on his channel. And it sent a lot of people, a lot of subscribers our way, which was a delight. So maybe you first saw us on Dave Mack.
That was just fun too.
It was.
He was great. Just
was
a lot of fun.
Really good. I learned a lot about his approach too to interviewing, which was beneficial. One of his things was, we're not going to do any introductions. We're going to get right into the content because otherwise people will click away. And so every video that's an interview, he always asks, how did you get into carnivore? He just gets right to the point. So I should probably learn how to get to the point.
That's not our strongest.
No, if you're
talent.
with us long term, it's not because we get to the point.
Especially me. I'm known to start at the beginning of time with a story. Actually, I start in the middle, then I back up to the beginning of time and eventually maybe ramble around to the point.
It does make editing our pre-recorded videos a little bit of a challenge because often JJ will do what she just said. And sometimes I have to edit it to put the story in order, but I don't always. Another cool thing that happened was we were approached to be a affiliate for the Carnivore bar, which I don't think is necessarily exclusive or difficult, but they actually sent us some free product. So that was really exciting because I'd never gotten any free stuff before. Now, I didn't love the Carnivore bar. You have gone on to actually use it as a strategic fill-in product.
I really like it now. I
and
really
so
do.
I'm putting on the screen, you can get 10% off using code JJ and Eric, which will pay for shipping.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you should. And they have some that is sweetened and some that isn't sweetened.
I have to say, I do eat the ones with honey. I know.
Your carnivore card is never coming back now. Ever.
Yeah.
Like ever.
But I think it's such a nice nutrient dense little package that I just justify the honey. And again, it doesn't taste sweet, but it does that honey does meld with the flavors and just make it much more delicious to me.
We were approached on at least one other product that I declined to even receive because I didn't feel like it was in our consistent.
But that was cool.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was cool, but it wasn't consistent with our general philosophy and approach. So we said no to that. What else has happened on my list? Oh, the biggest. Well, no. I want to save the biggest for the biggest. Second biggest. We received 2 super chats this year.
We did.
One from Carrie Mann and one, I believe it was from JH. So if you're still watching JH, thank you again for that. We don't solicit those, but it was really appreciated.
Yeah.
And it's just exciting because you see it happen to other channels. And then when it pops up on your chat, it's a whole different thing. So it was very exciting. And then the biggest, most satisfying thing is seeing the names and faces come back video after video to attend our lives or comment on the replays or other videos. And so we're not going to even attempt to name those names because we will leave somebody out.
Yeah.
But you know who you are. And we're very appreciative of you. And
it's so much fun.
I would wager that our most loyal viewers have taught us more than we've taught them.
Yes.
That would be my guess. All right, let's go over to the
what
chat.
You missed though?
What did I miss?
You did miss, I need to get this off. You did miss that we went to the Bid on Beef live auction as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we did do that.
Which was interesting. I'd never
Met Karen Miles, the famous Karen Miles.
we did. We did.
We were bossed around a little bit by Karen Miles, which was fine.
But in a good way.
Yeah.
I'm so glad because we're still kind of like deer in a headlight.
She could tell too.
And so for someone to come in and sort of usher us
and say, sit over there.
it was great. And we did meet Amanda there as well, although she was very, very busy. It was a really neat experience. I've seen auctions at the fair and so forth, but not like this. And so that was really cool. The unfortunate part, it wasn't a great place to socialize because there's an auction.
Live auction going. It was loud.
On. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but I enjoyed that day too.
Let's see here. Lisa says, I'm making carnivore flatbread for the first time because tomorrow starts 90 days back to lion diet. Well, I'm a fan of the carnivore flatbread, so enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because when you're lion, you won't be eating it.
And do you have a goal with that, Lisa, with doing the lion diet, or is it just, do you have a goal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow starts Carnivore month, right?
Oh yes, it
so
does.
It's a good time to start it.
And I think it might actually be tomorrow for Lindy. I'm not sure, but I think that's how that works. The Australia side of the world. Isn't that tomorrow already?
Oh, it could be.
Yeah.
It could be. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Limitless says, love it. It's fun to go back on old videos and see how far you've come. Well, it sure is. It was fun, but also a little cringy. Also, it was a little sad to see how good our lighting had gotten, and then it got really bad when we moved to the new house.
Yeah.
Because it's just not a controlled environment the way the other place was.
Well, we had a sort of a dedicated studio space there, and we do not here.
It will improve.
Yeah.
Let's see. People talking to each other. I love it. Dave Mack is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. I was looking for our video on his channel, and I saw how he had like 1 million new videos since then.
Mm-hmm.
It's like impossible to keep up. Happy New Year, Carnivore fam. I couldn't have said it better. Oh yeah, it's almost 10 a.m. here. Crikey. Limitless says, I like this lighting. Matches the radio voice. Well, we will have better lighting slowly.
Yes.
And we will be getting back to doing some pre-recorded, produced videos that are edited rather than just being all lives. But we had to make some concessions to real life and still be able to do it, meet our commitment.
Yeah. And I mean, I like getting on video. I like doing this. I love it. I love it. And you have put in so much work because you're the one who has done all the editing, all the thumbnails. You've done so much. And I just really want to say I appreciate that because I do not like, I've done YouTube stuff before, and that is the stuff that I do not like to do. So I really do appreciate that you've done all that.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And you're the reason that the channel works is because I put you on all the thumbnails so people actually watch it. That's a recurring theme.
Yes.
Although I've gone back to that recently, and the last video, which was a live, I changed it from just being a picture of us sitting here at this front of our microphones to being a thumbnail and having a theme for the video.
Mm-hmm.
And the views were much stronger for that one. So it also helps that occasionally JJ will chat on one of Carrie's lives.
Oh.
And he is extraordinarily gracious to shout us out. And every time he does it, we get a dozen people come and view our videos and subscribe.
Speaking of Carrie, I was watching one of his videos a few days back, and I know there's a big Arizona meetup coming up this weekend. And we can't go to that because we're taking our daughter back to college. Her winter break is done. And so we can't go to that. I was really bummed. But then I found out that he is having a Chicago meetup the following weekend.
Look at this question.
So, yeah. So we are going to the Chicago meetup. So I'm really excited about that because we've only been to the one, which was awesome and beautiful park. Met JT there as well. That was fun. But we've never been to a meetup where there are doctors as well. So
No,
I'm really
that's true.
excited to be meeting Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Hampton.
I'll be nervous.
Yeah.
So it probably won't be fun for me.
What you don't know is that I messaged when I was, messaging Carrie, and he didn't read this, which is good. I'm sure he saw it, but he didn't read it out loud. I'm like, I've got to see if my introverted husband will come to the Chicago meetup.
I'm going.
And you had no qualms.
No.
I was shocked by the lack of qualm you had.
No, I'm sure it'll be good. It's just that I have, a lot of social anxiety with that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I have to get psyched up. Lisa says, to heal my rheumatoid arthritis and get rid of my fat. That's why she's doing Lion. I've lost 73 pounds since March 1st.
I had no idea, Lisa. I don't remember seeing that stat before.
Me neither. That's amazing.
Wow.
Congratulations.
And doing a bulk of it working at the pizza place.
That is doing it on hard mode.
Good luck with your rheumatoid arthritis, though. That is good luck with that. We're pulling for you.
Wow. I've lost 30 plus, and I feel like I've done something that she's done like double. Yeah. She's done what we've both done combined.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Amazing.
That's crazy. Limitless says, I prefer the lives personally as it's an opportunity to chat with my carnivore fam. So much fun. Well, that's being social. Which is not something that comes naturally to me.
No, but I'm here.
But I love that people like that. JH is asking, where can I find the Arizona meetup? I'm in New Mexico.
I don't know because I can't go. But if you go to healinghumanity.movie/events, it's listed there along with the Chicago one.
Wow. You knew the actual URL.
I have a weird memory that remembers some things in crazy detail and other things it just doesn't at all. So yes.
Lisa says 18 pounds to go. Well,
Excellent.
if you do your 90 days of Lion, I can't imagine that will be able to withstand that assault of carnivorous way of eating.
You're one of our regulars, Lisa.
Yes.
So do keep us posted.
Yeah, we want to learn more about that.
Yeah.
Are we going to Hack Your Health in Tampa, Florida in November? November of 2025 does not exist to Eric.
That is true.
Nothing beyond probably the 11th of January has any reality to me. But we should look at it because it's not impossible we would go, but it would sound like it's very close to when our daughter be coming home for the holidays. So.
I would, if it's doable, I would love to go because I know Lindy's going to be there and a whole bunch of other people.
So when it comes to the events we're going to go to, that's going to be JJ's domain to research and figure out and convince me. Because I'm probably never going to actively seek to go do it. Although we're very strongly considering going to Las Vegas to COSI, Dave Feldman's thing in
That's
February. But the fact that so many big personalities will be there is actually a negative to me because I don't want to have to interact with them. It's going to be in Tempe.
Oh, thank you, Fallon. Yes.
I'll help you, JJ.
I need all the help I can get.
All right. Well, I'll just make your life, I'll curse you right now.
No.
You can reach JJ at jjanderic.com. You can reach me at eric@jjanderic.com. I'm more likely to actually see your email than JJ is, but it has to do with any sort of event. She's the one you want to reach out to.
That is true that you're more likely to see it, but I do have this on my iPad and I actually have been making sure I haven't gotten any new emails.
Okay.
Like I've been on it.
So if you want to test JJ, just to make sure she's actually looking at it. You could send her an email.
You could.
But I set that up because we do occasionally get a request for an email, and then sometimes it doesn't come. And I think, well, it's because they don't maybe want me to see it. They want JJ to reflect on something because, some people just want to keep certain things to themselves, and I get it.
Yeah.
So now she has an email address. You can reach her directly, and you can cut side deals with her.
And as I've said, though, do not go to jjanderic.com. There is nothing there at this point.
There's no website.
Yeah.
And there may never be one, because that sounds like it wouldn't be fun. Wouldn't be a fun project.
I kind of want to do it.
Well, then you should.
But I've got a lot of life coaching projects I'm not quite done with yet. So maybe 2025 is the year.
You could go to @JJEricLife on X, formerly known as Twitter. And I do not tweet very often there, but I do follow the sort of the carnivore keto community there more than I do with my other account, which is just more general. And I rarely post there anyway. Let's see what else. You should be liking and subscribing to this video and our channel right now. I was looking at our subscribers, and I am astonished. Just scrolling down through all of the different, there's a ton of little carnivore channels like us, and we kind of follow each other, and it's just really amazing to see that we've shown up on different radars, and so it's just extraordinarily satisfying. Why are you laughing at me?
No, I'm not laughing at you. I am laughing because it is so weird to me still when I come up in our feed. Or in my feed.
In your own feed?
And it's with all the people that I have followed since 2022.
Yeah, for me, it's when I'm watching Dr. Barry or something, and then the side, one of our videos is popping up. I'm like, how is that possible? It's so fun. All right, let's see. Cranky Carnivore Cutler. I will be going to the meetup in Tempe from Tucson and have room for one more. So hey, there you go. JH, pay attention to Cranky. Although Cranky, I would say that I would have pause. Although looking at your picture, I don't think that you probably are too cranky. Okay. It's been real fun. So we've got no more topics on my sheet.
No.
There is a topic, 2025. As I was thinking about what's coming up for us on Carnivore in 2025, as we mentioned the last time, we're kind of at our goal weight, generally speaking. I'm going to recenter this a little bit.
Yeah, I keep trying to pull you back into the frame.
I always feel like I have got some body recomposition that I can do, I mean, although it's hard to believe. But I want to do more consistent exercise. I want to get into really consistent sprinting, which will be difficult because it's going to be January and sprinting outside in January in Wisconsin. Not that much fun. But I want to do some experiments with like sardine fasts for 2 or 3 days just to see what that's like. And continue to work on the cooking, the beef preparation, and really figure out the béarnaise sauce.
Yes.
We did our béarnaise experiment. It broke. It actually tasted okay, but I felt like that was going to add another level of interest to our meals because we need some variety.
Now, for those of you who don't know, I think a lot of carnivores say a little bit of variety is nice. Eric, however, has had beef aversions on occasion. So having that.
Yeah, that was actually the whole point of the video that nobody wanted to watch, Carnivores Who Hate Beef. I was in that phase pretty hard at that time.
Yeah. And we were just at a Christmas brunch with my family, and my brother made hollandaise sauce, and it was amazing.
It was very good.
He used to be a chef.
And he had that egg bake.
Yes.
It had some veggies in it, but it was egg and some sort of meat
Yeah, sausage.
sausage, and that put that hollandaise on it. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So I need more of that in my life. So I'm willing to actually do some work to learn a skill.
Mhm.
And I will have to say, I can make a much, much, much better steak now than I could at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah. I've seen some of your steaks from the beginning of the year. You were getting, there was a lot of, black and blue. And
Yeah.
you're not a fan of the black and blue.
No. When I was first eating steaks on Carnivore, when we started back in October of 2022, I was doing pan frying, or I'd throw it into Ninja air fryer for a random amount of time until it looked vaguely done, but I never knew what was inside because I didn't have a meat thermometer and no skill. And so the way I got around that was I would just eat it with a ton of mustard. But I got really sick of mustard steak.
I don't know why that's funny. I can't understand why you got sick of mustard steak.
It was a lot of mustard.
It was a lot.
So I invested in some developing skills slowly over time.
We did have 3 meat thermometers at that time, by the way. Yeah. I'm just saying. So what is bringing you, how did the sardine fast come into your psyche?
Well, more recently, thanks to our loyal viewer, Annette, I've been loving eating killers,
Yes.
which we also know as kippers, which is what, haddock, smoked,
I'm
small fish, kind of like sardine, but I really like the flavor of them. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, maybe there's more mercury in them. And I was kind of trying to research it and go, I'm like, I don't know. I probably should just stick with sardines if I'm going to do an actual sardine fast, because there's protocols for it. So I was watching some Dr. Boz stuff because she's very big on it.
Mhm.
And I watched the video from Jenny Middich. She had a whole kind of how you even approach doing it. And I was like, I think I need to give it a shot because I like sardines fine. Arrow, our dog, loves it when I eat sardines.
He does.
Because I pour the water out and he drinks it. He also likes it when I drop pieces of sardine. And I thought, well, it'd be a good way to get some omega-3s without taking a capsule for a change. And just give it a try. Just see what happens.
Oh, I would love to do it with you, but I hate fish.
It is a difficult thing to do if you hate fish.
Oh, I literally want to do that. Dr. Boz says it is a fantastic metabolic reset to do. I think her optimal is to do 4 days of sardine fast followed by a 72-hour fast is optimal. And we've got box elder bugs in here in January. But I would love to be able to try that, just to have that experience. And I am certainly not there yet. Maybe I'm keeping the possibilities open, but
well, I've got some Wild Planet in water,
Mhm.
not olive oil, because I don't trust the olive oil that they use in canned fish.
Mhm.
I could get some in soybean oil, but that seems like it defeats the whole point of doing it. So I've got them coming from Amazon, and I'm going to do a few days and see how it goes.
Okay.
But I'm kind of excited about it. But the one thing I was concerned about is there's so much omega-3 in it.
Mhm.
I was like, can you overdo omega-3?
Well, have you seen any of the interviews with the woman who did 100 days?
No,
A
I
sardine
did. I
fast?
did hear Dr. Boz talk about that
Yeah.
individual, but I did not see the interview.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah.
Because I do know that one of the issues you can get from too much omega-3 is you can get some heart rhythm issues, arrhythmias, but I don't really know how much of a risk that is.
Mhm.
So obviously I would just not supplement during that period of time.
Yeah.
But my understanding is you just eat as much sardines as you want,
Right.
whenever you want throughout
Right.
the course of the fast.
That is, yeah. So again, it's not technically a fast, but it is.
And who knows? I'm never a good purist on these things, so I probably would throw in some killer kippers. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking about
Yeah.
early on. But before we do that,
Mhm.
do you have anything for the coming year related to carnivore that you plan to do or attempt or try that's different?
There's no.
All right, moving on.
No, I don't really have any plans, but I do want to add more a little bit of resistance training this year, because I did just get the whole the blood test that checks your bone density. I don't know exactly how that works, but and mine could definitely improve. Now, I'm not sure how accurate that is or anything, but I definitely could add in a little bit of resistance strength training type thing. And more regularly. Right now it's sort of catch as catch can.
I feel better when I do it, although this last one, as you well know, wiped me out.
Yeah, but when I do it, it's like I do 2 a day. That's two exercises a day, and that's it. I used to have really bad exercise intolerance, and so I take things pretty slow, and that just works better for me too.
I did find that when I was supplementing with creatine, it really did help my my recovery and the workouts themselves. I know that's a bit controversial. There are certain carnivore docs who like, you don't need it, you'll get it from meat. But I found that it did make a difference. And so I have restarted that. I had stopped it because I was just doing an experiment, but I'm going to restart that and see if that helps. But the main thing that helps with a workout not actually killing me like that last one did was doing it consistently, so that I'm not you get de-adapted to it, and so the central nervous system has to actually catch back up to the type of exertion that I was doing.
Well, and you usually go into it these days going, "Oh, I just did a really easy workout."
Yeah.
And it doesn't end up being so easy.
Yeah, that laid me flat.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Oh, no, wait. We got to go back up here. New air fryer died. Yeah. The new air fryer died, what was yesterday?
Yes.
Our Typher Dome, which we love.
We love it.
I have been in contact with their customer support, and they responded within an hour with an email saying, try this. And then I tried it. It didn't work. And so I told them. And then by this morning, they had already replied saying, give us this info and we'll send you a replacement. So
I didn't hear
I
that.
have given them the info. And so far, their support has been great.
Yeah, we really do love the product. So I'm glad to hear the customer support seems to be good, because we really do.
I think it might be a software issue.
It worked for his breakfast, and then I went to make mine and it just didn't.
So. Yeah, my bacon broke it. I love kippered herring from Family Dollar, but for the same cost, I get twice as much in a can of sardines. Yeah. I add tallow and Tabasco sauce to my sardines. Mush it all up so it doesn't look like a sardine anymore and doesn't taste too bad. I'll be doing one soon too.
So next time you're doing sardines, maybe put a little piece of one off to the side for me, and I'm going to try to disguise it like that.
But you don't like Tabasco.
I will try to disguise it like that.
You'll try it. Well, I will say that the sardine has a slightly stronger fishy taste than a kipper, but as far as fishiness goes, it's not that bad.
Well, you know how Dr. Barry says just be an adult with like he tells you just be an adult and
just do it.
Blah blah blah. Well, Dr. Boz also says that about sardines. Just suck it up. She doesn't say that term, and learn to like them. So I don't know.
Well, I guess I'm fortunate because I kind of like them,
yeah.
And I just eat them out of the tin. I don't mush them up. I don't hide them. I want to see their little spines. I want to crunch their bones.
And I think it would just be nice to have that as a tool in the back pocket.
Oh yeah.
I mean, again, I don't have any massive goals this year. I do still think I just got my blood test results in recently.
And
I'm not prepared to show them because I'm just not prepared to show them. But my HDL was good. My triglycerides were good. Everything is trending in the right direction. Of course, the ApoB was not, though. The ApoB was not, for those of you who go by the ApoB. And of course, the LDL was not. But I've heard so many people that after a couple years, that sort of regulates. So I'm kind of just interested. It's not a goal, but I'm interested to see if that ends up happening to me down the line.
so all of you who are typing furiously that LDL doesn't matter,
We know.
we know you don't need to type that in, but you can.
We know. Yeah, I'm not worried about it, but I'm just curious to see what happens. What happens as we move forward, period.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued.
Anthony says,
Hey,
looking forward to another year of JJ and Eric. Me too.
thank you. Yeah.
Soy oil is one of the hateful 8 seed oils. Yeah. And you will find them at Kroger. You'll find sardines in soybean oil. Crazy. It's like, let's take this great healthful food and destroy it. Lisa's going to get a Typher dome soon, it sounds like. I warmed the sardines in a little pan. I couldn't eat them straight out of the tin.
Okay.
And Wendy says, I love my air fryer. What brand do you have? Is it a Typher or is it something else? Because I feel like, now I don't feel like we need to go full Frigno freedom and have 20 different cooking methods in our various kitchen setups and outdoor deck. But he must have 4 or 5 different that he's tried out.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like maybe a backup air fryer wouldn't be the worst thing to have on the shelf, because it is a very important part of our process.
It is a real, I had to sear our steaks last night and put them in the oven.
The oven actually has an air fryer setting. Did you use it?
I did. I
don't know what that even really does.
Yeah.
Or why it would have it, but
Well, I think it just turns on some extra fan, but it's not, as we all know, it's not the same. Because an air fryer is just a convection oven, but the size of it is what's the power of it.
so there's another way that we prepare meat. And when I say we, I mean JJ. And that is with our big green egg.
Yes, the big green egg.
Now, I was the one who wanted to get the big green egg.
Mm-hmm.
I did one cooking project with it, threw my hands up and said, this is extraordinarily complicated. And of course, you have to, one, plan, because you've got to start the fire and let it heat up. And then you've got to pay attention to detail.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a non-starter for me.
It really is. Yeah.
Now, I'm getting better. I'm getting better because I actually dry brined a steak today.
Mm-hmm.
But because we moved house, it was at the other house and it's very heavy. It's not something I can just pick up. So I went and fetched it yesterday.
Yeah, I was literally, we went to my brother's, and in addition to the food we talked about, he put a flank steak in the big green egg, and you liked it.
Yeah, it was very good.
You were like, oh, this is really good. Now, I've been harassing Eric and jabbing about not having my big green egg because it's at the other house, and he doesn't always like the smoky flavor. So I was actually beginning to think you were just being belligerent and like, the more you ask, the less I'm going to do it.
Well, that wasn't it. It was, as you may have noticed, a project, because in order to do it, I had to load the tractor onto a trailer and then truck that over to the other house, unload it, disconnect the trailer, figure out how to get the egg onto a pallet, strap the pallet down, lift it into the back of the truck, reconnect the trailer, put the tractor on the trailer, truck it all back here, take the tractor off the trailer, disconnect the trailer, take the pallet off the truck, move the pallet with the egg to the garage, get the egg off the pallet, and then put everything away, which I did. I did all of those things.
You did all of those
And
things.
because it was so many steps, it took me a long time to work up the willingness to do it because I didn't really want it
Yeah. You don't have a big
that
desire.
badly.
But I even like to just change up cooking sometimes. Sometimes it's just nice to cook outside.
But I was feeling the post-Christmas sort of blues a little bit.
Mhm.
And it was like, you know what? One, I always feel better if I'm doing something with my tractor.
Mhm.
And two, I feel better if I do something for someone else.
Aw.
And so I'm like, I will do something with my tractor for JJ.
And it was a pretty nice day.
It was a beautiful day. And that's
So-
over. The polar vortex is on its way and we will soon be frozen.
But yeah, so I really appreciated that, even though I haven't used it yet.
So, but now I know that there's a whole rack of ribs in the refrigerator or the freezer.
Mhm.
So that could be done.
That could totally be done.
And-
I make some good ribs on that thing.
And you just got a thing about rubs. So maybe we could have like a carnivore compliant sort of rub or something. So we don't have to put a lot of sugary sauce or fake or artificially sweetened sauce on it.
Well, so that's the last, yes, that's the last step. But the flavor from my ribs, other than that, it'll all work out.
It'll
fine.
all work.
Yeah.
Cranky says, in my opinion, since LDL level L is inversely proportional to all-cause mortality, it is extremely important. Point taken. There is that horseshoe graph that shows higher LDL, better mortality. JH says, I usually have a lot to say, but strangely today, no. But great show, great effort, and looking forward to 2025 with JJ and Eric. Thank you so much, JH. We could keep going all the way into the new year. It's only a little less than 7 hours from now, but I don't think I'm doing that.
You're not doing that.
My voice would last. It's already starting to fail on me.
You're definitely not doing that.
You could, if you're just joining us, you could like and subscribe. We have completed our first year as YouTubers. For those of you who weren't here for it, here is the intro of our very first YouTube video.
JJ, and
Hi, Eric.
he's my husband, and we are here to talk about the 10 top results that we've gotten from eating a proper human diet.
And they are magnificent results. And there it is. And you can notice that JJ is wearing the same outfit today as she was that day.
I am. I took
It was a total coincidence.
totally. He pulls this up, and I'm like, wait a minute.
And you'll also notice that my face is a little thinner today than it was when we recorded that over a year ago. Let's see. Wendy says, I have a Tower air fryer. Did liver and bacon today. Was awesome. Liver. That is frightening to me. We have not done that yet.
No, but I do Braunschweiger. And I was just having a craving for it yesterday. So I think that's it. It's time for me to bring some Braunschweiger.
But that's not cooking liver.
No, that is not cooking liver.
So that's not something that we have done.
This is not hardcore. No, and it's not cooking with the air fryer. My grandpa used to like liver and onions.
So
Grandpa
we
Fred.
did the lamb, and that was a failure. Somebody mentioned, I think it was maybe Limitless, was saying that it's more available in Australia, lamb. But we didn't have a hard time getting it. It was just, we went to Costco for it. But I think we just chose the wrong ones, because it sounded like people who also buy them at Costco here get the other ones we didn't get because there's more fat on them.
Yeah.
But also somebody mentioned a mint sauce, and to me that just was like it. My brain just tied in a knot, going, that doesn't sound like it could ever be good. But I don't know, because I associate mint more with desserts, not with savory things. Steak Man has made it.
Hey.
Sorry I'm late. I've been studying body comp videos, not salad eating videos, because
Salad is toxic, let me easy. Forget the greens, live another day. Salad is toxic, join the parade. Make a stick.
yep.
So I have a confession. And I can only say this, Alan, because you forgave me for being a salad eater last week. So for those of you who don't know, I have a salad maybe twice a month, maybe when I'm out with a friend and we're at a place where they don't have other options. Well, today there were other options, and I still got a salad because I really like their salad. So I ate a salad today, along with some hot dogs on the side. And I came home and Eric, so this is a salad that has it's a vinaigrette, probably with seed oil. We know that. But it's got bacon and it's like a Cobb salad type thing, right? And so it's got a lot of nice, decent protein. But I come home and Eric's like,
You had a salad.
What have you been eating? And I said, I had a salad. And he's like, I can smell the dressing on you.
I can.
So that's kind of.
I can smell it right now.
So now, not only do I have, and I know from eating carnivore that carnivores don't tend to emit a lot of scent, generally speaking. So now, not only do I have Alan over here going, salad is toxic, but now I'm going to have you going, I can smell that salad on you. And I'm wondering, well, if you can smell it on me, that's probably not great.
What is it doing to your cells?
Right.
That smell is going into the cells and it's inflaming them.
But see, because
that sounds like science, right?
I can eat salad without noticing any side effects, really. And again, I don't eat it that often. And I'm not saying I'm giving it up. I don't care if you eat salad, all that. But the fact he can smell it on me tells me maybe my body isn't tolerating it as well as I think it might be. So that's what that is. I don't know. So maybe when I go when I go to this place and get the beef, you smell it does have garlic in it. Yep. And you smell the garlic too. Yep. So I don't know.
Shannon says mint in lamb is amazing. So maybe have to try it. Mm-hmm. I mean, to me, the sound of it isn't making me excited, but it may be something I have to try to understand and see if it works. Primal says, people smell funny to me now, and I get the ick real bad. I think it's the carbs. I think it is.
I think so.
And I've always had a very sensitive nose.
Yes, that is true.
You get the ick, Primal Carnivore Fallon. I start with the ick, and it has to be earned out. Like
it's true.
The ick is the starting point from which we begin a relationship.
That's true.
But then I can be de-icked. I can be. I don't know.
I can attest to that.
I don't know that you gave me the ick. It was more of just the superiority complex that you had at the time. But that can be forgiven. You were 15. Happy New Year. 2025 resolution is to continue to team with Eric and Eric to help JJ beat the salad thing. We got your back, JJ.
Thank you,
Ellen. Oh my. So it is going to be 1/4 of a century down the tubes.
Yeah. Back in 2000, we put together a cardboard time capsule.
We did.
And I don't think there's probably much interesting in it. Probably some newspapers and that's about it. I don't know. But we're going to open it.
Maybe we should video it.
Maybe.
And I know that there's some like Y2K things in it that I kind of remember existing. But maybe kind of interesting to do that time capsule as a video.
Yeah.
25 years.
But I just saw, I see it all the time. It's in our garage at the old house. And I saw it last week and I said, it's 2025. Maybe it's time to crack that baby open.
It's so strange because you think about when we were, let's say, when we were 25 and you think about that would have been 1995.
Yep.
So you've been thinking, well, what was 50 years ago? Well, the end of World War II. And now if you think about what was 50 years ago, well, it was the 70s. It was like the first Star Wars movie was just about to come out about 50 years ago. because I think it came out in like 76, which means it was probably filming and they were working on in 75.
Mhm.
So we're getting there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's wrong, but we're re-watching Friends as one does. And every time we watch it, it was longer ago that it all happened. And, like the intro, or sometimes they'll do a long shot of New York's skyline and the Twin Towers are still there. And it's just kind of like, this show was just on. It was just on as in its first run. It's not even that old of a show. And
No.
it is old. Every time we're watching, I'm like, all of these people, they're not in their 20s anymore. And they weren't even when they were in their 20s, most of them.
Yeah.
And so it's just, the time just is crazy.
Mhm.
And it speeds up. What's the, what was that song? The,
Time keeps on slipping.
no, that's Steve Miller.
Yeah.
After that, it was Smash Mouth. The years start coming and they don't stop coming.
Oh, I do like that line. Yeah. But I also hate that line.
The truth is, when you're a kid, the years take forever because they're a giant percentage of your life. When you're 5 years old, 1 year more is another 20% longer that you've lived. But now it's like less than 1/50th of your life. So it's just just another year.
I had that day though about a week or so ago that just went on forever. I kept telling you this day is never ending. I haven't had one of those in ages, but it was like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. It's now 10 o'clock in the morning.
Were you busy?
I was, but
so what happens is that happens.
I'm often busy.
But then we kind of finish up for the day and we sit down to watch TV or something together. And then we watch a show and I'm like, well, it's finally 7 o'clock. And we're like, how can this night still be going? Time just works very strangely.
It is interesting. Very interesting.
No, this one. Did I miss your goals, resolutions for 2025? We did our last episode. We talked kind of about this.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. I don't know that we had resolutions.
Mhm.
We talked more about the idea of stop, start, continue.
Mhm.
And then I think right before you joined, I just talked about, I'm going to try a sardine fast. I'm going to work on body comp like I know you are, because I think the last time you commented, you were leaning out. So I'm going to be experimenting with that kind of stuff.
And I have done very little exercise in my carnivore journey. And I think this coming year, I want to move into some more resistance / weight training. And I don't know, I've done bike sprints here and there, but yeah, we'll see. But I haven't obviously formalized my plan or anything, but I do think it's time to start building a little more muscle.
I do think a theme that's come up for me as I've been trying to troubleshoot some things is maybe trying to get deeper into ketosis and do some experiments with that, because I just keep being envious of JJ's carnivore bliss that she experiences about 75% of the time. I have never once experienced 1 second of carnivore bliss. I've had some carnivore contentment and of like, yeah, pretty good. But I there's levels to mood that I'd like to achieve. And so I'm interested in exploring how to get there.
I would like you to achieve them as well.
Right. Because when I'm in a good mood, I'm a lot of fun.
You are.
I'm not social, but I'm a lot. So it also sounds, Alan, like we're going to be attending some meetups. And that's all JJ's problem to solve.
We know we're going to be in Chicago, not this weekend, but the following weekend. I'm not sure what the date is. Oh, wait, it's the 11th, because auditions for our next youth theater play are on the 12th.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, let me just say, this is carnivore related. I would have never pre-carnivore scheduled us to go to big Chicago for a meetup the day before auditions, because the auditions would have taken so much of my energy and focus that I would have needed Saturday to be sort of a rest prep day. And now no problem.
Also, it is not in downtown Chicago
No, it is not.
because there's no chance I would go if that was the case. There was actually one, I think, this past fall, and I was like, nope. It's in the northern suburbs, so
Yeah.
it's not far from us. But so some of that, we may be going to Las Vegas to COSI, Dave Feldman's thing. I think that's probably a 70% chance.
And I do have to check into the Hack Your Health dates, and yeah.
Way out in this thing called November of 2025, which doesn't even exist to me.
Maybe it'll correspond with your birthday.
If it did, that would be interesting.
That would be.
We could make it all about me. I'll be 55.
Ah,
Yeah. Assuming I make it. I'm hopeful.
me too.
So I think we've gone an hour 25, JJ.
Wow, this has been a long one, but it's been so much fun.
It's
And
been
thanks
great
to
fun.
you.
So
Thanks to you.
we are going to sign off and begin our preparations for our New Year's festivities. Will involve maybe staying up until 9 or 10.
I actually prefer Eric going to bed at his normal bedtime and being more cheerful tomorrow than forcing himself to stay awake and then being not as cheerful tomorrow. So we'll see.
Well, I like the plan. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful new year. And we will see you soon.
See you next time. Bye.